When you're starting your YouTube channel, it can feel like your content is not going anywhere. You're putting in all this time and energy to create, but it seems like nobody's watching. Well, what if I told you this silence can actually work in your favor? Stick around, because by the end you're going to understand why this nobody watching phase might be the best thing happening for your growth. Alright, so let's be real. This early stage, when you're posting and barely getting any views, it can feel very brutal, like you're just shouting into the void. You're putting in all this effort, tweaking colors, coming up with perfect titles, maybe even spending hours editing, and then nothing. Just silence. But here's where things get interesting. What if this silence is actually a huge opportunity in disguise? What if it's actually the perfect time to make mistakes, experiment, and figure things out? Think of it this way. When nobody's watching, you're free to try anything. You can be brave, even a little weird, just to see what works. There's no pressure from an audience because there isn't one yet. You get to test new ideas, mess around with different formats, and really start discovering what makes you unique. And that's huge, because finding your style is the foundation of a strong channel. It's like having a blank slate to practice on, where every post is a mini experiment. This phase is where you get to explore without fear, and that's actually priceless. So even if it feels lonely, this stage is essential because it's giving you the freedom to play around, make mistakes, and refine your skills before anyone's watching. And this freedom, it's exactly what you need to build confidence in a style that's 100% yours. But here's the thing, there's more going on here than just personal growth. This stage is setting you up for something even bigger, and that's what we'll get into next. So once you realize that this quiet phase actually frees you up, something interesting happens. You start figuring out what makes you, you. This is the part where you find your own voice, and that's honestly one of the most powerful things you can bring to your channel. See, a lot of creators jump into YouTube and feel like they need to copy someone else's style or approach. But here's the truth. Nobody can do what you do quite like you do it. You have experiences, perspectives, even quirks that make you unique. And this phase, when the spotlight's off, is the best time to do it. It's the perfect time to start discovering those things. With every video you make, you're experimenting with how you tell stories, how you connect with people, and how you make content that actually feels like you. And it's in this quiet phase that you can take your time to figure all that out. You're developing your style, your message, your rhythm, all without the pressure of a big audience jumping over every word. And when you finally start building an audience, you're bringing them something real, not a copy of someone else, but your unique perspective. That's what gets people coming back to your channel. And it's all thanks to this early phase where you're quietly finding your voice. So this phase might be a quiet time, but it's where you're finding the things that will set you apart. But the benefits don't stop at just your personal growth. There's more happening under the surface that's setting you up for success later. And that's what we'll dive into next. So let's get into something else that's happening with every post. Even if it feels like they're just vanishing into thin air. Every time you hit publish, you're actually building skills that make you a better creator, and you might not even realize it. But these little improvements add up in a big way. So think about it. Each video you make, you're practicing how to hook people right from the start. You're learning how to structure your content, keep people engaged, and maybe even how to edit so things just flow right. It's like you're fine-tuning all these mini skills with every upload. And here's the cool part. Even though no one's watching now, by the time they do show up, you're going to be ready. You've had all this low-pressure time to get better at filming, faster at editing, more confident on camera. These things make a massive difference when it counts. And it's all happening because you've been willing to post consistently, even when it feels like nobody's there. It's like a kind of invisible progress. You might not notice it day by day, but look back in a few months and you'll see how far you've come. And that's all because you kept showing up, kept practicing, kept posting. But here's another thing. Beyond just building skills, there's a way this phase is helping you set up a blueprint for the kind of content that actually resonates with people. And that's where we're getting into next. Now, besides getting better at the technical side of things, there's something else going on here that's super valuable. This early phase is giving you the chance to build what I like to call a content blueprint. Basically a roadmap that works, what doesn't, and what feels right for you. When you're just starting, you're probably experimenting with different topics, different formats, maybe even trying out a few quirky ideas. And that's awesome, because it's helping you see what actually excites you and keeps you coming back to the camera. Think of it like a personal lab. With each video, you're testing new ideas, and over time you start to notice patterns. Maybe you find that certain types of videos just flow easier, or that certain topics get you more excited. You're essentially creating a blueprint for the kind of content you enjoy making. And when you enjoy it, that energy naturally shows up on screen. So when you do start to gain traction, you've already built a foundation of content that's not just random, but intentional. You'll have a solid idea of what resonates with you, and eventually that's what will resonate with your audience too. And all this experimentation, it's laying down a foundation that's going to set you apart. But there's an even bigger advantage you're building up with each post, and that's what we'll dive into now. So here's where all that consistency we've talked about starts to really pay off. By showing up regularly, even when it feels like you're posting to an empty room, you're actually doing something incredibly smart. You're sending signals, not just to future viewers, but to the algorithm itself. See, the algorithm is designed to reward consistency. It's like watching and noticing every time you post, tracking how often you're showing up, and when it sees that you're serious, that you're here to stay. That's when it starts pushing your content out to more people. Think of it like building a relationship. At first, the algorithm isn't quite sure about you, but over time, with every post, you're proving that you're committed. You're not just a one-hit wonder. You're showing that you're dedicated and reliable and worth promoting. So when that moment comes and the algorithm finally starts to pick you up, you've already got a solid foundation. You've got content ready for viewers to discover and binge on. And that consistency you built is now working for you. But it's not just the algorithm that notices your commitment. This foundation you're building is what turns casual viewers into loyal fans. Now let's talk about something that might be even more powerful than the algorithm itself. Your future audience. When people finally start discovering your channel, they're not just going to see that one video you posted last week. They're going to find a whole library of content that's been waiting for them. Imagine this. A new viewer stumbles on one of your videos. They like it and they want to see more. But instead of a single video or two, they're greeted with all the content you've been putting out consistently. It's like they've just uncovered this treasure trove of videos, and that's what makes them stick around. See, when viewers have a backlog to explore, they get a sense of your journey. They see the evolution, the commitment, and they feel like they're getting to know you. And that's what builds trust. Suddenly, you're not just some random channel. They feel connected to you because they can see all the work that you've put in. And that's how casual viewers turn into loyal fans. They start watching more videos, maybe even subscribing, because they can see that you've been serious about this journey. This backlog that you've been building during your quiet phase, that's what creates fans who keep coming back. So while it might feel like you're just pushing through in silence right now, every single post is setting up something big down the line. And it's all leading to a channel that's ready to grow. This point reinforces the long-term value of consistency by showing how it not only attracts viewers, but turns them into loyal fans. Let me know if you found this content valuable, and if you'd like to see more, take a look at my channel. Thank you for watching.